4th and goal. Stroud throws. Caught. Touchdown. Stephon Diggs. His second of the game. And Ryans rolls the dice, and it pays off.
He did roll the dice. D'Amico showed some chutzpah on Sunday in the Texans' 29-27 win over the Colts. And yesterday on the show, I think Joe, offended a lot of people by saying that had the Texans played a better team than the Colts, that they probably would have lost. We have raised expectations for the Houston Texans this season. I feel like because of that, we should nitpick a win in a way that last year we wouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so important to also remember that even though the expectations are raised here, the floor is so far above one of the teams that we saw last night and a couple of other teams that we saw over the weekend. I can't see this Texans season going disastrously. I can see them maybe being 10-7 and we're all like, yeah, we thought they would do better. But I watched the New York Jets last night and oh boy, I was rubbing my nipples that entire game watching them same old Jets it again. Then I watched a little bit of the Jake Asman show on YouTube and I continued to do it.
How was that experience?
It was beautiful. I love watching Jets fans sad. And it's just nice to have a reminder that the expectations here are raised and you are no longer like a franchise like the New York Jets.
Yes, the expectations for this team is to be a playoff team. It's so nice that we don't have to think about what it was the years before that. Not just the Davis Mills year, but even the Deshaun Watson years. I mean, Bill O'Brien, great job at Boston College so far, but the expectations could never fully get there with B.O.B. in charge. Like you never really felt that this team ever could have a Super Bowl aspiration with Bill O'Brien and Tim Kelly or whoever was calling the plays. Like you never felt like you could get there.
It was an interesting 2018 and 2019. There were expectations going into 2018 because Watson looked good, but he got hurt. And then they started off 0-3. And even though they won 9 in a row after that, no one cared. And then the next year, that lack of care that stemmed from the 0-3 start and a season ending with a loss to the Colts, I don't think people really got excited because even the playoff victory against the Bills was messy. And then they had that big lead on the Chiefs. And of course, they blew it. O'Brien's out afterwards. So you're right.
Yeah. And for the people that got upset at all, like I can't help you. Like, I'm sorry. Like this is not need to be sunshine and rainbows and everything's perfect. And like, I'm not going to say, like, I know I have bad takes. Okay. I have bad takes.
Don't say that.
I don't have stupid takes. And there are people that after one Texans game are saying the dumbest things I've ever heard. Baytown Batty. Like, come on.
Like what? What did he
said?
say?
Joe Mixon's the best running back the Texans have ever had.
Arian Foster.
Like, give me a break.
That's
it's
crazy.
one game.
Yeah.
But like, there is lots of things to be excited about. But the floor has been raised. The ceiling has been raised. It is a good time to be a Houston Texans fan, a viewer of the Houston Texans, like whatever you are. It's the narrative has changed. And if it hasn't changed yet, well, we're gonna try to change it ourselves.
And that's why we're raising the expectations. And I do think that they were fortunate to beat Indianapolis. They played a team that they were better than. And if they had played a team that was on another level, the game that they gave on Sunday, they probably would have lost. I did not say they were more lucky than good, but I just wanted to remind everybody that, hey, because we have these raised expectations, we can also sit up in our ivory tower and laugh at the New York Jets. We can also laugh at the Cleveland Browns. Now,
yes, we can.
Before we get before we get back into talking about yet another Deshaun Watson development, I just want to play the audio of the first caller on the Browns flagship station. Ken Carman, who was a great radio host, took a caller, and it did not take very long for this Browns fan to start wistfully reminiscing about Baker Mayfield.
Oh, 2 numbers. You'll figure them out. 42.9, 144.
What is all this?
Watson's quarterback rating, Mayfield's quarterback rating.
Oh, Christ. I can't do this for one more second. No, that's enough. That's enough. The first call out of the box, we're going to do this. The very first call of the box. We're going to do this. No. I know what his quarterback rating was. I know that he was good. Guys, I'm not doing it right out of the damn box. Can I have a little bit of time before we do this? Can I have a little bit of time? That he ain't coming home. He ain't coming back. Only to play us. That's it. He had a great day down there. Congratulations on all his success. I can't undo the trade. I can't undo it.
Same old Jets, same old Browns. This is the same old Browns.
I'm so glad we don't have to do that.
It's also the same old Deshaun Watson. So right after yesterday's show was done, I saw a story that popped up from Pro Football Talk and said Deshaun Watson sued for sexual assault and battery. And I assumed this was going to be another masseuse story. I read the beginning of it and I feel bad because at first I was like, oh, it's just another story about Deshaun Watson being a freak with buttocks massage requests. But it, from the report, sounds like a rape. And look, we'll see what happens here, but it is yet another sign of Deshaun Watson's, at the very least, clear deviance. And he's no longer here. It's great that he's no longer here. It's horrible that the Browns decided to throw all their morals into the wind and they get this guy and they're paying him all that money. Deshaun Watson was asked about the week that led up to a also horrible game that he played against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. And he brought up that it's been a trying week because his father passed away.
And again, it's been a long week, at the end of the day, football is definitely something that, we got to take very, very serious, and it's our job, it's our career. But, there's other things that's bigger than this. I lost my dad Friday. I lost my brother, my teammate yesterday, DeAndre Overton, only 26 years old. So, it's been a long week, and they gave me an opportunity to go back home, but, I told them I wanted to be with my guys. So,
he said he wanted to be with his guys.
It wasn't even really about football. It was really just kind of, his first time seeing me over the weekend, kind of let me know he's here with me.
So that was Deshaun Watson. And, on one hand, you do feel for anyone who loses their father, who loses a friend, but you add this to that story that just came out about Deshaun Watson and the stories that we have here in Houston already. That's public knowledge. The 26 allegations of sexual misconduct. You throw a sexual assault on top of all of that. And I'm curious as to what's next. And I'm thankful that the Texans have removed themselves from this situation and also got a lot in return for Deshaun Watson, just from a football perspective. But while, again, I'm going to say that the expectations are raised and I wanted a little more out of the Texans than I saw from them in their win, this is so far in the rearview mirror.
Yeah,
it's glorious.
Can I ask you with the floor? I know there's a long CJ Stroud career in front of us, though. Isn't the floor just now raised? Is it for the franchise in general? Like you would say, the Dallas Cowboys have not achieved the ultimate heights of what they've wanted. They have not gone back to a Super Bowl. But this is a franchise that has now gone through, quarterback changes in my lifetime. You got Bledsoe and Prescott and Romo and these guys, but they're always an above 500 football team. They're always a playoff team. Doesn't it also feel that just the floor for the franchise for the foreseeable future has changed?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't want to ever go back to think about, I hope we're doing this show and, the next time they draft a rookie quarterback after CJ Stroud has had an incredible football career. I hope we never have to go back to where the Jets are right now, where the Browns are right now. It's just the floor has been raised for now and for the foreseeable future.
As long as they have CJ Stroud, I do not see this as a team that loses more games than it wins.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like 9 wins for the most part going forward, barring some sort of catastrophic injury that Stroud suffers. And even with the schedule, what it is this year, a lot more difficult. Expectations are raised. And I will again say that if they had played that game that they played against the Colts Sunday against a better team, they probably would have lost. But they are not in the same realm as the New York Jets, who kept on jetsing last night, or the Cleveland Browns, who have another massive disaster on their hands in addition to that putrid performance against the Cowboys. that we saw on Sunday.
You're not like half the NFL right now, which is what's nice. There's so many teams in the league that like you're just not them anymore.
We're upper class.
Yeah, you're
We're
not
upper class
You're
now.
not the upper class.
No, that's true.
You're not hiding a Christian McCaffrey injury and then replacing him with some guy that I've never heard of.
You sound so mad about that.
Oh, it's a gambling thing.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like it.
I do like it. I like seeing the gamblers mad. I like seeing the fantasy football people mad.
I used to not have a problem with it until they got in bed with the gambling companies.
Mm-hmm.
And then now that's when I'm like, oh, this is kind of shady that like you are sponsored by all these betting companies and yet you have a player like Christian McCaffrey who's been out since Friday. You just didn't tell anyone. I don't like that. I don't like that you're in bed with these companies and breaking the rules.
Some context, Christian McCaffrey supposedly, based off of an interview that Jordan Wilson, who played very well for the 49ers last night, did with Lisa Salters after the game. Supposedly he found out that he was going to play or start on Friday, and everyone's jumping up. It's like, oh, Christian McCaffrey got scratched at the last minute, and my fantasy team lost, and my gambling picks lost. Why didn't they report it? F you. They don't care. They don't have to care about you. Go F yourself. I hate those people.
I know.
You're losers. You're losers.
Paul just said he hates me.
Losers. You're a degenerate loser. MyBookie.ag, promo code BET975.
Sean Paul just called me a loser and
yes.
said he hates me.
Joe, I do. I hate all these whining losers. Oh,
I just don't like it, to be honest. But counterpoint, I think people like Jordan Schultz, who are then complaining about the media asking
he was kissing
Jordan
ass.
Mason a question about knowing since he was playing he's going to play since Friday. The people complaining about that question are worse.
Buttered his biscuit up.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Sean,
whole,
are you a loser?
No. The whole Jordan Mason thing.
Just you.
Do you think the teams tell you exactly when they find out about a player's availability? No, they have an entire thing at 10:30.
And I should be used to it. Kyle Tucker. That's all I have to say. Kyle Tucker. I should be used to it.
Yeah, that and also, but in the NFL, like
an hour and a half before the game,
before the noon games, there's always on all the pregame shows. There's whatever insider going through all the inactives the 90 minutes before the kickoff. This was a Monday night game, so it's a little bit different because it's the last game of the week. Whatever. I still don't really have that much sympathy for we're not entitled to know exactly when guys are ruled out of games. So that's just not how it works out.
The Texans are not in that upper class where Jordan Mason can come in and go off and dominate the Jets. They're not there just yet.
No, they need a mysterious Joe Mixon injury, and then Dare Abungawale goes and rushes for 130
Sean
yards.
calls a shot that when Joe Mixon misses a game, it's a Gumbawale that goes on. I like it.
Damian Pierce. It was interesting to see that Ugumbawale did get a couple of looks. Pierce looked better for what it's worth on Sunday.
I agree with that.
Pierce looked the best he's looked in a while.
Yeah, no, he took like 3 snaps.
Well, all 3 carries, or the 3 carry or whatever 2 carries he had, were pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
The run blocking is better, and life is better if you're a Houston Texans fan. You are no longer anywhere close to franchises like the Jets and the Browns, at least based off of the week 1 results. But I feel very good about this team going forward. And I just wanted to tell everybody, while I was bad cop yesterday, but I was more just actually good teacher, trying to raise your standards. We do know that we are in an elevated place, and that's why we hold them to these expectations.